If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
The Black Lives Matter hashtag was created in response to multiple deaths of African Americans after interactions with police. The campaign has so far created awareness through social media as well as through campaigns and marches, though there still has been some backlash. But why do we need the hashtag in the first place?
Everybody's seen the hashtag at this point. They've seen the slogans and the protests. What is Black Lives Matter and how did it come about?
Black Lives Matter is a project that's designed to celebrate the humanity, the brilliance, and resilience of Black people in a world that devalues Black life. Every 28 hours in this country, a Black person is murdered by security officers, police officers, or vigilantes. There are more people in prisons and jails today than there were enslaved in this country.
History repeats itself, as Black Lives Matter is not a new concept. People of color have been marching, rallying, and protesting for several generations. It just so happens the 21st century's latest addition to voicing our social and civil liberties can be done on the internet, as well as in physical form. The image of Trayvon Martin was displayed on millions of people's social media, namely Facebook, in protest to him being gunned down by George Zimmerman, who said he looked suspicious in his moments before his death. His likeness is illustrated next to Emmett Till and Mike Brown, both thought to be wrongfully murdered because of their race. Mike Brown was portrayed in the media as a giant and a thug, even though he was a high school graduate when gunned down by police in Ferguson, which led to the hashtag #IfTheyGunMeDown, showing minorities' distaste for the media portrayal of Black people in similar situations. While Eric Gardner was choked in an illegal hold by NYPD, which led to his death, even with his breathless muttering, "I can't breathe," several times, and thus the hashtag and campaign, "I can't breathe." While Sandra Bland was an activist and avid in her position that Black people are mistreated civilly and socially. She died mysteriously while in police custody. The hashtag Say Her Name was created to show the need for answers on her passing. These all contributed to the creation of the moment Black Lives Matter. The movement is not only about death caused by the police, but also the brutality associated with their interaction.
Take a look at this man as he runs from police. He drops to the ground. Then the officer strikes his right arm, kicks the same arm, and then his side.
Slacktivism, quoted from Davis in 2011, is defined as a willingness to perform relatively costless token displays of support for a social cause with an accompanying lack of willingness to devote significant effort to enact meaningful change. Christofferson, White, and Pelosa write about the token support versus meaningful support, where one is costless, aka slacktivism, and the latter is the result of some sacrifice. At what point does the Black Lives Matter campaign transform from the facade and outrage for a consistent action from police to a successful campaign where actions similar to which this officer is conducting will be legally accountable due to the tangible success of this campaign? And how will it be measured?
But now let's go to the issue of, hey, wait a minute, now maybe the cops had to kill all these people because they're an unprecedented danger. That's what Fox News tells me. So let's go to some of the sources here. The Officer Down Memorial page, which tracks police officer deaths, estimates 123 police officers died in the line of duty up to this point in 2015. That's actually down 4% from the same time period in 2014.
People have decided that enough is enough and that it's no longer time for slow incremental change or for compromise, and that what we need right now are radical shifts in our social system, in our economic system, and in our criminal system.
The co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement just mentioned that there is no longer a time for slow incremental change, and radical shifts are needed in our social and economic system. But is that plausible, and can it happen successfully simply by using social media as a form of activism? And why can't people treat people equally without it?
Because they're afraid they will lose power if they share it with other people. We are afraid of sharing power. That's what it's all about. That's the reason men won't share power with women, because they are afraid they will lose power. People, if we would share power, we would empower many people so that we would all be more powerful.
Right. You can't take people's, like, historical context away from them. And everybody wants us to. Like, white people are always like, come on, it wasn't us. Like, they want black people to forget everything. Like, every year, white people add 100 years to how long ago slavery was. Yeah. I've heard educated white people say slavery was 400 years ago. No, it very wasn't. It was 140 years ago. That's two 70-year-old ladies living and dying back to back. That's how recently you could buy a guy. That's right.
Even though we have historical examples of the civil rights movement, the Tea Party, and the women's rights movement, we cannot totally discredit the power of social media activism.